Hey there, everybody. Welcome to the rabbit hole. Uh, Tonight, we're going to be talking about Marvin John Heemeyer, otherwise known as Killdozer. And we're going to talk about, where they got the name Killdozer from, what exactly, who was this guy, and what did he do that put him on the map and made him a folk legend for some, and a domestic terrorist for others. And basically, we're going to talk about, was he right? They say that reasonable man pushed to doing unreasonable things. It's kind of like the tagline for what happened here. And so we're going to talk about that. Was he being unreasonable? So that's the question. And to help me come up with this, I got my partner in crime.
Sir, nobody worries about upsetting a droid.
That's because a droid don't pull people's arms out of their sockets when they lose. Wookiees are known to do that.
Marvin Heemeyer is a hero! You're muted!
Yes, I know I'm muted. Freaking StreamYards kept playing that clip over and over. All right. Thanks for your contribution, Dick.
You're welcome. Thank you
right.
very much. I am the current
All
manager.
right.
My name is Dick Poole, current manager of
Yeah.
the Parkour Beavers.
All right. Let me bring on a little bit of sanity.
If it's no Scottish, it's crap!
Hello! How's everyone doing?
Nice icon.
Yeah, I just thought I'd come in with that. I'm sorry.
Rule has an icon
Anyway.
of the disgruntled beaver.
Yeah. There you go.
I
Anyway.
couldn't help it.
So, okay, in July the 4th, June the 4th, 2004, about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, a local garage, side of the garage busted out, and out came a homemade tank. And what transpired the next 2 hours and 7 minutes, which is the exact time it took, was still talked about till today. And so basically we're going to talk about what happened to this guy, what he did in response, and was he right? Was he actually... Was this something that made sense, or was this something that wasn't somebody being batshit crazy? So, anyway, let's start. Let's start with kind of a little bit. All right. So, where did the name Killdozer come from? Well, it actually came from this.
We don't know anything for a fact.
Clint Walker.
Except that bulldozer kills.
Carl Betts. 2 men dead. The survivors watch an unmanned bulldozer continue its rampage. Killdozer.
It's like something
remember
out
that
of
movie.
It's like something out of Maximum Overdrive or something. I've not seen that.
Well, this is
I've seen
before Maximum Overdrive. This is the 1974.
Okay.
And Stephen King borrowed a lot of ideas, so he might have borrowed this one.
Probably.
because-
Yeah.
He also did Christine. So
I've got that.
Um,
I've got that as well.
well, this is basically a bulldozer runs over a meteorite, and
okay.
it gives it like sentience, and it starts like killing people.
As they do.
A very young Robert Urich is in it.
Yeah.
So anyway, I was surprised. I was watching the watching the movie, kind of buzzing through it, and I was like, "Wait, that guy looks familiar." Yeah, it's like, yeah, sure enough, it's Robert Urich. Later became Spencer for Hire. Anyway, so
Yeah, but he was Street from SWAT. He played Street
right,
in the TV show SWAT.
right.
Or Spencer for Hire.
Yeah, what network? What network was SWAT on?
Oh shit, I forget.
It might have been
CBS?
ABC because that's ABC was what the movie was from. They used a lot of their players, you know. They used a lot of their bit players from other like television shows to populate their movies. But
recycle actors and all that.
Yeah. Kind of a studio system in a way.
And they used to be under studio contracts.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
They were pretty much their contracts were owned by the studio for who knows how many years.
Exactly. We own your ass, you know. Anyway, well, they still do, but it's in an entirely different way. It's kind of literal now. Anyway, so all right. So Marvin John Heemeyer, born October 28th, 1951, and so he was born on a dairy farm, South Dakota. In 1974, he moved to Colorado because he was stationed at Lowry Air Force Base. In 89, he moved to Grand Lake, Colorado, about 16 miles away from Granby. And his friend said he had no relatives in the Granby, Grand Lake area, so he's a complete outsider. John Baldry, a friend of Heemeyer, said he was a likable person. Heemeyer's brother Ken stated that he'd been over backwards for anyone. While many people described Heemeyer as affable, local resident Christy Baker claimed that she was told that Heemeyer threatened her husband after he refused to pay for a disputed muffler repair. But Baker said the husband later paid Heemeyer $124. So Heemeyer enjoyed taking snowmobile trips with friends, led a rescue effort on one such trip after a friend became trapped in a small avalanche. So, so he was like, that one incident was the only one that I saw, and it was kind of been built up over the years that he threatened this guy, you know. Yeah, he was
definite psychopath then.
Oh yeah, he threatened one guy. Oh my God, he's so unstable. Anyway, plus
what
that he built his own.
What did he do? Threaten to take him to court?
I don't know. Well, you know, it's like, well, that's a pattern of behavior. Okay, he threatened one guy, and then he drove a tank through downtown. So
yeah. That's what happens. You threaten one guy, and then you go nuts.
Guy and that's the next logical step, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So he was strongly in favor of gambling legalization, campaigned for the cause on several occasions, and began disseminating a newspaper of his own on the issue. In 1994, a measure was proposed that would legalize gambling. He was an avid supporter of the proposal and so passionate about it, it came nearly to blows with a local reporter who was opposed to the proposal. The local reporter who wrote the account that everybody has run with.
Right.
Imagine that.
Yeah. Nor Lodge, when he did his documentary called "They Lied," he brought this up that there might have been a conflict of interest. So
just a wee bit.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Well, so he got his money basically from being the best welder anybody had ever seen.
Yeah.
He fixed a lot of snowmobiles, and in addition, that he used that money to create to make a muffler shop, and basically, if he welded your muffler, you had no worries.
Right.
But they said he was an artist with the settling torch. And that is a gift. That really, truly is a gift. I used to watch Monster Garage, right? And
oh yeah, yep.
And you know they do all sorts of crazy projects. And there's this one lady who, because of the guys, it was a bunch of guys, all guys build team. Nobody would let her, nobody kind of let her participate. And then Jesse James is like, wait, why aren't you letting her participate? And they're like, well, it's like, she's the best. She's like a master welder. And they're like, okay, we'll let her weld this. And then when she welded it, it was like a perfect string of pearls. It's what's called a string of pearls.
Yep.
And it was like beautiful. And everybody's like, holy shit. And she's like,
Yep.
But some people, some people have the gift and some, to weld. It's an instinct, basically. And, before I watched that show, I didn't really realize that there was some kind of like giftedness involved. So there is definitely a gift of welding, and Marvin had it. Started in the Army. He was like he worked on the planes and stuff like that. And if
Like
you
an
work on
engineer.
those planes, engineer, right? If you work on those planes, you better make sure everything is buttoned up, okay?
Yeah.
Because if one of those things goes down, it's your ass.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
Oh yeah.
So he kind of learned his excellence from there, and so basically he pretty much outside of this dispute with the local press, for the most part, he kind of like got along with everybody. But then something happened. Okay, and around 1992. He purchased 2 acres of land for $42,000 at an auction, with plans to lease the property to a friend who intended to build an auto repair shop on the site. But present at the auction was a guy named Cody Dochev. Now, Cody's family had previously owned the property, and Heemeyer claimed that Cody walked up to him after it was over with, and after he lost the property and like chewed him out. But the property had a rudimentary sewage storage solution in the form of a buried cement mess left by previous owners, which were the Dochefs. Cody Dochev actually put it in. And so basically the cost to update that sewer would be nearly double the $42 million that Heemeyer paid for the property. But see, so basically, the Dochev made a bid on the property for $50,000 because he didn't have the money, but this guy that was like floating him said that he would only pay $50,000 for the property, only put on $50,000. But then Heemeyer bid 66, and he won the auction. And according to Heemeyer, Dochev come up to him and basically threatened him.
Says you're going to sell me that land or something, wouldn't it?
Yeah, he said, if you're going to sell me that land, otherwise you're not going to be able to use that land. And Heemeyer, being kind of, he's kind of like got that Dutchness in him, where, you don't tread on me, leave me the hell alone and I'll leave you the hell alone. But he just basically kind of laughed it off. He didn't have anything to do. Didn't have anything to do with local government. He didn't have anything against this guy, and so he just kind of assumed that it would blow over. Yeah. Well, it did not.
I guess not. No.
But the property did have this rudimentary sewage storage solution on it. It wasn't connected to the city sewer. It had its own sewer. But it was put in by Cody Dochev, and it'd been fine. All these years, it'd been fine. But then they told Heemeyer that putting in a septic tank was a less expensive alternative than to update the sewer. But despite these setbacks, well, basically, hold on a second. He said that he rejected both options, said the government was not going paying for the sewer line hookup. It was extortion by government fiat, and despite the setbacks, he did not withdraw his annexation request. and subsequently be part of the sewer district. Okay, so basically, he said basically, I'm not going to pay for anything. You have to hook it up yourself, and basically, they told him he had to hook up to the sewer line, but he had to cross this other property to get to the sewer line, and so he had to get that person had to cooperate for him to get to the sewer line.
Right.
And so that is where the problem came in.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So
Because
go
wasn't
ahead.
it the Dochevs? Wasn't it that family? Didn't they own? Didn't they end up buying the property right next to his? That his
Yeah.
sewer lines ran under
Well,
to make a cement
see.
factory or something like that.
yeah. Well, we're getting to that. So by '93, Heemeyer had abandoned plans to rent the property to a friend and opened a muffler repair shop on the grounds. And according to Heemeyer, his friend had lost interest in the property around April 1992 because of oil spills and environmental issues. But 1997, the Dochev family planned to expand their business to include a concrete batch plant. They were buying up land around the current lot, hoping to lease the remaining 23 parcels to small manufacturers. And they were informed by the town planning commission that they needed a planned development overlay district permit to construct the plant as part of their Mountain Park concrete development. And the commission also suggested that the Dochev family ask if they could purchase Heemeyer's plot to keep the plant away from the hotels and businesses on Route 40. So here we go. Let the games begin. So Heemeyer asked for $250,000 for his property, but later claimed he had the lot reappraised and asked for an additional $125,000. Dochevs managed to collect $350,000, but according to Susan Dochev, so one of the Dochevs, Heemeyer again upped his asking price, claiming he had the property appraised again at a higher value, this time asking for $450,000. This negotiation happened before the rezoning proposal had a public hearing at Town Hall. Okay, so we're going on Dochev's like information here, which
Not
they're
biased at
always
all.
going. Yeah, not biased at all. But despite the deal falling through, the Dochev family pursued their plans to expand their business. In other words, even though they didn't acquire this property, they started proceeding like they had the property.
Ah,
Okay.
I can see why that might be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's a problem. So it also seems to indicate that they basically knew that something else was going to go on, and
Yeah.
they had an assumption that things would work out in their favor. Okay, so basically, they expanded the business and purchased a defunct commercial subdivision opposite Heemeyer's lot, right across the road. Heemeyer had attempted to buy this land just before the Dochevs, but he was unsuccessful. He later proposed a land swap, whereby he would receive the prime lot. The Dochevs initially accepted the offer, but Heemeyer demanded the Dochevs construct new building on the lot at great expense. Then they get, according to them, he demanded it. The negotiations fell apart with Heemeyer stonewalling the Dochevs once again by what they said he did. Okay,
Right. Okay.
that's not what he said out of his own words, but that's what I'm going off of Wikipedia here, and Wikipedia is always going to be slanted toward the government.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So Heemeyer launched a public campaign against the planned concrete plant. This campaign was initially successful, with members of the public concerned about potential environmental impacts packing into hearings and the construction proposals. The Dochevs addressed these concerns by promising to install additional measures against dust and noise. Okay? And presented a miniatures of the plant to concerned citizens. Opposition to the proposal dwindled. The plan was set to move forward in November 2000. Heemeyer filed a lawsuit to block the plant. And so city clerk wrote the letter to the newspaper arguing that Heemeyer had a vendetta against the Dochevs. So once again, this is pretty much the paper that's saying that this happened. And so the clerk referenced Heemeyer's increasingly exorbitant demands during negotiations for the sale of his property to the dough chefs, during which he had the land reappraised several times. Which I don't know. Have you ever acquired property? Either of you ever acquired property?
No.
I bought a house years ago, but
Well, when you're developing property, at every single time you get to like a crossroads, you have to get a reappraisal.
Okay.
And so these reappraisals were basically, you don't want it, property values go up and down all the time.
Yeah.
And so at every single level, the bank basically requires another reappraisal, so they make sure they're getting their money's worth. So if the property value drops off, then they can pull out, and they won't take a loss.
Right.
Banks aren't into losing money. Anyway, I just got here. We were talking about
All right, William.
Whistling Dixie. Nope, we are talking about Killdozer.
Killdozer.
I'm not sure what Whistling Dixie is. And while we're talking about it, Wookiee's eating again. So anyway. Of course he is. Anyway, so here we are. Now all of this, once again, is like this is basically based off of the Tread documentary, which was written by the local journalist who butted heads with Heemeyer himself over the gambling thing, and
no bias there at all.
No bias there at all.
Nothing.
And,
just a coincidence.
Right, and it's also taking the dough chefs at their word, and it's also taking the Thomases at their word. We haven't got to the Thomases yet, but we're getting there. So this is tangled web. It's the tangled web, all right. But city clerk wrote a letter to the newspaper. Okay, but January 9th, 2001, we're up to 2001. Heemeyer had lost most of his allies in opposition to the concrete plant. City officials almost unanimously approved its construction. And by January 9th, 2001, the preliminary plans for the plant were approved near unanimously. Only Heemeyer remained opposed. This made the final approval by Granby's zoning commission and trustees an April formality. Okay, so he's the lone holdout against this project. And so Heemeyer tried to appeal the decision, claiming the construction blocked access to his shop. Which it never did, according to the judge handling his case. According to the judge handling his case, it never did.
I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. How convenient is that?
A totally unbiased judge, of course.
No.
Yeah. We know judges are unbiased all the time, right?
Oh, yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
What's
so
the guy?
Impartial. It's not even funny.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely impartial. Absolutely impartial. The DC bench is just entirely nonpartisan, entirely. And who's the guy in New York? What's his name?
Judge Mershon.
Mershon. Oh yeah, him. Totally unbiased. Totally unbiased.
Yeah, what a great guy. His daughter.
What a great guy.
Wow.
Daughter too.
Awesome.
Anyway, okay. Before we get in trouble. All right. Okay. A local, which it never did, according to the judge handling this case, a local journalist, the same guy at Red Tread, and the people inspecting aerial photography. Okay, so people inspecting aerial photography. So not being there or not even checking it out with their own eyes, or inspecting aerial photography. Anyway, he also complained to Environmental Protection Agency. It resulted in the Doe Chef family having a professional noise analysis done. Okay. And so in June 2001, Joe Doe Chef made Heemeyer an offer whereby if Heemeyer dropped the lawsuit, they were providing him an easement to connect the sewer line to the new concrete plant free of charge. Heemeyer just hung up. Around this time, the buried concrete truck barrel that served Heemeyer's sewage hole filled up. And Heemeyer responded by pumping his sewage with a gasoline pump into the irrigation ditch that ran behind his property. So Heemeyer also attempted to illegally connect to a neighbor's sewer line, but was caught, and the incident reported the sanitation district. And at this point, the sewer district started enforcing a legal requirement to have a sewer hookup or a septic tank, and fined Heemeyer $2,500 for it and the other city code violations at his business. In July 2001, 9 years after he was required to have installed either, Heemeyer found a contempt of town code in November 2001 by municipal court and required to fix the connection issues before he could inhabit or use the property for business purposes again, as well as remove the truck barrel before July 2003. And Heemeyer agreed before later that day, rejecting it and describing his requirements as form of terrorism. An attorney at the judgment reported Heemeyer muttering, "I'm just going to bulldozer the whole place to the ground." Now that is hearsay.
Of course, that totally never happened.
Yeah, that's hearsay.
No
Okay.
bulldozer at all.
Well, didn't Heemeyer attempt to construct another entryway and ended up running into a lot of issues there? That was the whole point of him purchasing or having that Kubota in his shop, was to make a road, because he had asphalt and all kinds of building material to make a road to his shop.
Well, what that article leaves out, and I got a documentary post that's like pinned in my chat. The Lore Lodge did a documentary on this, and he took a look at both sides of things, and there's a lot of stuff not being said there. Okay, so basically, they basically shut his business down. And said he had to get this done, but this everything was like benefiting those chefs, and then he said, "Okay, I'm going to compromise. I won't go through that property that won't let me go through. I'll go around it, build a new road." Okay, and because they had his road blocked off. Right. You know, that they're like saying that the judge said it wasn't blocking. The local press said it wasn't blocking, and people viewing aerial photographs said it wasn't blocking. And yet he was blocked enough that he had to make a new road. Okay? And all this is just like red tape. All this is just local politics bullshit. And And so he's just trying to, he can't, they told him basically, you cannot use this as a business anymore, which is his livelihood. Right. And so he's like suing to kind of get to reacquire his ability to operate as a business, because his business was very, very successful. He was well known. He had people that came out of town all the time to have him work on their snowmobiles and put mufflers on their cars. And so this was not like a struggling business. This was a very highly successful business. And because the those chefs couldn't get their way, and their buddies uptown were like, this guy's from out of town. He's in North Dakota or whatever, and we're just gonna. He's not one of us. He's from away. So, we're going to follow him. Right. My kids grew up with this, or I grew up with this guy. My kids grew up with this guy. He's been here forever. And he's one of the established families. And so, basically he got froze out of his own business. Every road, every avenue blocked. And then nobody was available by phone, basically. And they just basically said, you got to have this done by this certain amount of time, or we're going to come and throw you out, And during this time, he visited. Hey, bud, what's up? But during this time, he visited a lot of different people that were friends with him, and they said that there was no reference to anything. He was making plans with them, like he was planning on something long term. And he there's this woman that he dated for a long time, and they broke up over her going back to smoking. He couldn't, and but he went. She was a dental assistant, and he went and had something done on his teeth, and then at the end of it, he did something. He walked up to her and he said that you were the best thing ever happened to me, and and they hugged each other. And she's like, it's like he was saying goodbye, and this was like 3 weeks before.
Okay, a red flag there then, maybe.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
she didn't have any. She just thought, well, maybe maybe he's coming around. Maybe we can make a go of it again.
Right.
The fact that she was on such good terms with him says a lot. I mean, most times you have an ex, you're not on good terms with them. Present company included.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Right. So, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I've never had an ex I was on good terms with. So there you go. Anyway,
Don't trust them.
all right. Well, but basically, he would, he would like go home. He would like, he had a outdoor, hot tub, and he would just like sit in the hot tub and like contemplate his life. And then, one day it just came to him that, it was time to take the whole system down.
Right.
And so, it says first time he had peace in a long time. Okay. So let me play this for you.
He was on a mission
Okay.
from God.
Yeah. So let me play this for you.
I have had a perfect life up until 1999 when I found out what the Thompsons had done to me in 92. And I am not going to take it. And I have to use the resources that I have, the wherewithal that I have, the ability that I have, the knowledge that I have to make this right. I am not walking away from it. Maybe I'm being a coward by doing what I'm doing. Because without a doubt, I'm doing what you have done. I'm lying. I'm conspiring. I'm keeping things secret. And it's going to happen. If I would have been married, had a family, things may have gone different. But God built me for this job. You had to take me on en masse. Well, I'm going to take you on by myself.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? I mean,
Oh, yeah.
obviously he stated the fact that he didn't have a family of his own, and
Mhm.
obviously you would consider these things, those kind of actions, if you did.
Yeah.
If you don't, it's a case of, well, F it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, his father just passed away right before that.
Right, yeah. that's
And
right.
just a matter of weeks before that, and they said that his family all said that he was kind of like distraught, and he was like kind of like being very fatalistic for him, talking about death and things like that, and that wasn't like
Yeah.
him at all.
Maybe
And,
that was the tipping point there.
Well, it's like the one relative left that it kind of relied on him, and
Yeah.
and so, but he felt like he was a guided missile. He felt like that he was the warrior that was going to like take the whole system down. And so,
Damn near
you know,
did.
well, we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. So here he is. He's like, he's blocked from using his business. He's blocked from being able to access the road. And this is all by City Hall. You know, everything in City Hall is kind of like every time he tries to be reasonable, every time he tries to give him a compromise, every time he tries to say, well, okay, if I can't do this, then I can do this. And every time he would come up with a solution, it would be blocked. And so they wouldn't let him like get out of it, but they wouldn't let him go forward. And and it's just petty bullshit.
Well,
I mean,
just a bunch of evil families who have accumulated some kind of power some way, and they're in control of the town and parts of government, apparently. And you know, like you were saying, he's an outsider, so they have the good old boys network, if you want to call it that. But it's just basically corruption, and corruption from judges, lawyers, reporters, everybody through up and down the steps in that town. And so, you know, he pretty much was bullied into going over the edge. And
well,
that was it, in my opinion.
Okay, well, the thing that bothered me, and Lower Lodge pointed this out. Too many parkours, but anyway. Lower Lodge pointed this out, and it was that even when he got to the point where he was like, okay, I can't use this property, so I'm going to sell it. Even then, when he was just trying to sell it and cash his chips in and move on, they blocked it.
Okay.
And so, I mean, that's what, if they really wanted just to move him out, if they just wanted him to go away, if they just wanted to force him out, then why the hell did they block that sale? Why the hell did they block his attempts?
The punishment. They wanted to be cruel.
Yeah.
They basically were punishing the guy, and that's
they had a vendetta. A vendetta.
Exactly. You've got these psychopaths that, for all intents and purposes, they're psychopaths. These families, these people that were blocking his sale or blocking his road or fucking with his sewer system, and they're all psychopaths. Yeah. And that's just part and parcel to how they are. They didn't want him to sell and leave and cash a check because they weren't done humiliating the guy.
Yeah.
And
at one point, they gave him a fine. Go ahead.
Oh,
go ahead.
They would have had influence with town councils and courts and stuff, or had members on the town council and court.
Yeah, they did. The Thompsons.
Right.
Well, the thing about it is though, when you back people into a corner, cornered people have different reactions. Okay.
I mean, you've only got one way to go when you're backed into a corner. So,
well, even a rat or a mouse, if they're cornered, they
throw
will
into
fight.
a ball and let them beat on you, or you come out fighting.
Yeah.
And I wonder what happened.
We're still talking about him because he had a certain reaction. Anyway, so let me bring us up.
The D355A bulldozer, manufactured by the Japanese construction equipment manufacturer Komatsu, first entered service in the 1970s. Designed to be cost-effective and easy to operate rather than the best in its class, this large 49-ton bulldozer was originally developed for use in overseas mines. It is powered by an efficient, low-maintenance, turbocharged 410 horsepower SA6 D155-4A engine, equipped with all-speed lubrication system and double filters to help it stay clean. D355A comes equipped with a 4-speed gearbox, enabling a top forward and reverse speed of 7.45 miles per hour. Thanks to its single lever control of speed and direction, cozy cabin and an array of driver assist systems, the D355A is also considered to be a comfortable and straightforward machine to drive, which might have been a determining factor back when Heemeyer originally bought it. Utilizing his welding skills and the high load capacity of his Komatsu bulldozer, Heemeyer set out to create an all-encompassing armoured cover for the protection of the vehicle and the operator inside. To create this cover, Heemeyer employed 2 half-inch tool steel plates sandwiching 5,000 psi quick-read concrete, effectively creating composite armour. This robust design would prove remarkably effective against small arms fire, including armour-piercing rifle ammunition and light explosives.
Yeah, well, that's what they were saying. They said that in that video you sent me, they said they tossed flashbangs and everything at it.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, he had a gun emplacement in the back of it. He had cameras to see. So he wasn't like relying on line of sight. He had actual cameras and video screens that were wired in.
I think he had like 3 or 4 video monitors and 3 or 4 cameras, and the cameras were protected with 3-inch bulletproof plastic.
Yeah, and they even had a windshield wipers on them.
Yeah.
So I mean, he thought of just about everything. The guy was a freaking genius. Anyway, but he around this time, Let me find my place right quick. But so basically, he had the Komatsu D355A bulldozer, bought it for $16,000. Had it shipped to Granby July 2002. Kept it outside of his business with a for sale sign on it. Tried to auction it when they wouldn't let him build his road, and so he tried to get rid of it and he couldn't. But he basically 2002 he announced the closure of the mufflers repair business, putting all the inventory up for sale. When the bulldozer failed to sell, he saw it as a sign from God he had to start his mission.
Right.
And he sold his property for $400,000, around 10 times the original purchasing price, to the trash company, October 2003. Took the lease out for half the building he previously owned until he had finished some work. Within a day of purchase closing, the new owners had completed the water and sewer connections. How about that? How about that shit?
Yeah, exactly.
And so he finally let him sell it, and immediately they let those people complete those connections that they wouldn't let.
Oh yeah, exactly. Oh yeah,
just like that. Just like that.
Imagine the hell out of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just petty bullshit, man. Just petty freaking bullshit.
Yep.
So he erected a wall to separate his space from the rest of the building and change the locks. But interestingly enough, they had to do a walkthrough inspection. So they had to do all the buildings. They had to put insurance on, and they saw this big huge tarpaulin over something, and they're like, "What's that?" And he's like, "Oh, it's this experiment that I'm doing. I'm welding on this brand new system for air cooling a diesel engines and like caterpillars and things like that." And he's like, "It's pretty complicated stuff. You want to see it?" And they're like, No, it's okay." But he kept with his whole backstory and even offered to let them see it. And then they're like, No, that's okay. And they just moved on. And he's, he did this in plain sight of everybody. Okay, did this in plain sight. And so basically, he put all this metal on it, but he also, behind the metal, he backstopped it with concrete. And the thing weighed 61 tons at the total at the end. 61 tons.
Yeah, he sandwiched the he had the armor piercing metal, the steel,
Yeah.
And then in between the steel, he had 12 inches of freaking concrete, quickcrete.
Right.
Right.
But
how did that affect the mobility of the thing then?
well, it didn't really affect the mobility of it. Basically, it affected how fast it went, but that's about all.
Right.
The threads are pretty much the same as what's on the tank. Okay.
Right.
There's a reason why tanks have treads. But he fitted makeshift composite armor covering cabin engine parts of the truck. 3 external explosions, more than 200 rounds of ammunition that fired at the bulldozer had no effect on it.
Yeah, pretty much. And they dropped a flashbang down the freaking exhaust and nothing happened. They didn't do shit.
Yep. Okay, no, it wasn't the windshield wipers. It was compressed air nozzles were fitted to blow dust away from the video cameras. I knew there's something
Right.
There you go.
that included the but he onboard fans and an air conditioner were used to keep the Heemeyer cool while driving. He had 3 gun ports fitted for 50 caliber, 308, and 22 caliber, all fitted with a half-inch steel plate. So he had gun ports. So this thing was a tank.
Yeah.
At the time of
And you know
demolition, what's that?
You know what's funny is because nobody died. He didn't kill anybody.
Well, we're getting to that. We're getting to that. Well, he killed himself, but you know.
Well, yeah,
I
exactly.
didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it, but yeah. Well.
Spoilers!
You forced me to spoil it.
Spoilers!
At the time of demolition, it also claimed 3 handguns and enough food and water to last a week. So he was prepared for anything. But so at 20:15 p.m., he began his rampage by driving his armored bulldozer through Mountain Park Concrete, owned by the Doshef family. At the time of effect, Cody Doshef was at the concrete plant screening topsoil at the gravel pit. When he got a notification over his radio, there was an explosion at the precast shop. And several employees attempted to stop the bulldozer by cramming objects into the tread in order to jam it, but to no effect. And Cody Doshef, initially believing the dozer to be under remote control, fired a pistol at it, attempted to climb on top to no effect, before engaging the bulldozer with his own front end loader. And again, to no success. During this time, Heemeyer fired multiple rounds at the loader, and deputy from sheriff's office arrived on the scene, followed by a Colorado State Patrol officer who was fired upon by Heemeyer. Now, this is part of the smear job. That they said that he be fired at people with lethal intent. If he wanted to kill somebody, he had the weaponry to do it. And yet, time after time, basically, when he fired, it was like to keep people out of the way. Scare
him off. Scare him off. Yeah.
Scare him off, or scare him out of the way. Keep him from blocking his mission. Basically, that front end loader was it's just a bug compared to that tractor. But bulldozers are unstoppable. I mean, they're like they're called bulldozers for a reason. Okay.
Yeah, it moves earth. I mean, that's massively powerful.
Massively powerful. But yeah, this is really slanted. They said basically that if several state troopers evacuated Merce seconds before he demolished it, with eyewitness noting again, hearsay.
Yeah.
Hearsay. Okay. You see this all the time when people are talking about this incident. You hear hearsay. But then you but then you have actual video evidence. And when you see the video evidence, he's only returning fire when they're when they're doing stuff like throwing flashbangs into his ventilation.
I had thought that he was firing at propane tanks and electrical transformers.
Right.
That was kind of the point of the weaponry was to do a lot of damage that way to the buildings, basically going after the people that wronged him, to destroy their business, homes, and everything else.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and try to share this video file.
Okay.
This is the actual. This is actual video of Rampage seems to indicate randomness, but he's very targeted when he did this. So
yeah.
Here we go.
Oh, there we go. It moved a little bit.
There we go.
Oh.
Yeah.
And there it went.
Get stopped. Kind of jumpy.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
That's all right.
Must be
I
too
wanted to
much going
kind of
on, I guess.
upload it. Yeah, I wanted to upload it, but it wouldn't let me upload it.
Yeah, is that the one you said was too big?
Yeah.
That's a good look at the thing, anyway.
So that is that encasement that he made was basically there was no way in and no way out. Once he put that on top of the machine, that was it. It was a tomb basically.
Oh right, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, there was no entrance and no exit on that thing.
Okay, so
no, he welded himself in.
He didn't plant.
Yeah.
He didn't plant to come back from that then. Okay.
Yeah.
There it goes.
Yeah, you're not stopping that thing in a hurry.
No.
I think I remember watching this on TV when this went down.
I don't remember it. I don't remember if that was shown over here. It might have been.
Oh yeah, he plowed through the business and take it all down.
Right.
It's like $70 million worth of damage.
Crikey. Imagine if they had just worked with him instead of against him. Imagine that.
Imagine it. This is the flashbangs when they tried to get in the flashbangs.
Right. Could they not have tried sticking tear gas in or something?
That's what the flashbangs were, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they did the tear gas with the flashbangs. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what happened. The tread got stuck in the basement, fell through, and he couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah. It's very much like that guy that got shot. Remember, he stole a tank and that it got stuck in a gutter.
Yeah.
Bit like that.
Yeah. He's like, take it all down. There you go.
Mental.
There it is.
Yeah.
That's where he got stuck.
That's where he got stuck
There's
right
a picture
there.
of that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And not long after that, he'd have punched his own ticket, I guess.
Yeah. Well, about 12 hours later, they finally was able to get inside.
Yeah. They tried blowing it up to get inside. They couldn't. They had to go with acetylene torches,
Yep.
Yeah,
and
makes
they
sense.
finally
It was
cracked it
welded
open,
tight.
and he'd been dead for a while. So
Yeah.
Mm.
Yep.
yeah, it was a one-way
I
trip.
didn't know that he was planning it to be a one-way trip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It was
I
a
knew,
one-way
I
trip.
obviously knew, I obviously knew it was a one-way trip. I just didn't know he intended that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He welded himself inside.
Yep.
He wasn't coming back out.
He had nothing to lose.
I guess
He
not.
lost everything already. So he had one singular focus, and that was what was basically revenge.
Pretty much. Yeah.
And,
Yeah,
In his mind, retribution, I guess.
oh yeah, all the above,
Yeah.
all the above. They pretty much shit on this guy from day one.
For years.
And,
Yeah, that's
for
years built up.
and over a decade, and he just said, he got to the point that we're fuck it. You're going down my way.
Yeah. I'm done. That's it. Yeah, that's would have been.
Yep.
right. Okay, hold on.
Bunny, do you have a poll in your chat on your channel?
Yeah,
I've got one myself, so on my YouTube channel. So if you guys are watching on my YouTube channel, please enter the poll and for this episode. So was Killdozer right? So we've got 4 choices. You've got confirmed, in the middle, undecided, and debunked. So please participate in that in either my chat on my YouTube channel or Bunny's chat in his YouTube channel. Please and thank you.
yeah. All right. It's kind of froze me up here, so give me a minute. Get caught up here.
Right.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame Abby couldn't be on, but I know he's having a good time this weekend. So he'll probably catch us on the rewind.
Oh, I'm sure he will. Yeah, I'm sure he will.
Yeah, I
I
probably
know that when
get mad that we didn't mention a whole bunch of shit.
When I mentioned what that we were doing, and he was kind of disappointed, but
Yeah.
it was. I'm sure we'll revisit this on a review or something.
Yeah. If we do
down the road,
if we do a look at some of the best.
A
ones
look
and
back
stuff
at
again.
the best episodes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, I felt like I needed to show that.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, you just had to see it to believe it. That was made by one man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over the course of a few months. Yeah, I was somebody
we
just
have
had enough,
Do we have a time frame that it took him to build that, Bunny? Did you see any information on that?
Let me I think
I know it was a short time period in relation to a one-man job.
All things considered, yeah, it was pretty short.
Yeah. Well, let me see. 1.5 year. It took him a year and a half.
Ah, okay.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
I suppose that's not that long for that kind of thing.
Well, yeah, he was doing it under people's noses, so he was
Yeah.
basically he had to be out in public, he had to be seen, and
Aye.
so that probably slowed him down. If he just like dedicated himself to it,
Yeah.
and only that,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it's still remarkable in every possible
Oh,
way.
very, very much so.
And I guess they utterly, completely dismantled it. You know,
Oh yeah. I'd heard that they pretty much just basically sent all the pieces to different scrap yards around the country, and they didn't want anybody, having a souvenir of the
No.
Killdozer. They didn't want.
yeah, they didn't want people being inspired by it.
Yeah.
Oh hell no. No.
Well, they forgot about scrubbing the video.
Yeah.
So,
He's actually legendary now. There's I asked
He is.
for people's opinions on Killdozer, and let me bring this up. But there's one guy that was like, he said he flies this flag. So let me see.
treads on them. That's nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
Instead of "don't tread on me," it's like "tread on them." You know?
Yeah, exactly.
But so yeah, so he's still inspiring people today. In that he was a man that was like just pushed into the corner, and they kept him there, and just to let him know how impotent he was, and let him know that he couldn't do anything about it. And I mean, you could say a lot of things about there's misunderstanding here, misunderstanding there, but when they allowed him to sell the thing, and then immediately those people were able to connect the sewer.
Yeah, that was I think that was kind of like the cherry on top.
Yeah, by that time the tank was practically built, but that had to been him going like, I'm not imagining this. I'm not. That had to be like the final straw. Like that we're on. This is on. I'm gonna do this. Yeah. But I mean, that little act of pettiness on their part cost them $70 million worth of damage.
Well, yeah.
And Lore Lodge pointed out that for them saying that they didn't see this coming, once he started destroying like City Hall, every one of the people that had a business that was involved with this situation evacuated their businesses.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
And so if they're like, I don't know why he did this, and they said to this day they don't know why he did this, and yet they evacuated their businesses.
Yeah.
Why ever would they do that?
Yeah, it's almost like a guilty conscience or something. They knew he was coming.
Yep.
In other words, they knew. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
They knew.
But a lot of the bullets that were launched at him were launched by locals, launched by them basically.
And
so,
obviously we spoke about that before we went on. Is the reporter had obviously done different interviews and obviously different articles, and he was inconsistent in every single one of them. It the lore? It was the lore video you sent me, wasn't it? It was like the 10-minute one. They mentioned that in there with the reporter, if I recall.
Yep, he's like everybody, like all the major news outlets and everybody like quote this guy because he's like he's like a local reporter from Granby. And but the problem is that there's a lot of inconsistencies, and every time you see that, every time what Marvin said happened and what this guy said happened, differed. He investigated that particular moment, and he'd go to other people, he'd go to other resources, go to other magazine articles and things like that. And he usually would find out that what Marvin said happened is what happened.
Right.
Mhm.
And
Right.
so,
So there was probably some contradictions as well then.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like cui bono. You always ask who benefits. Cui bono. And and so this guy who was already pissed at Marvin over the whole gambling thing, and all these people that he talks to are like people who probably invest in the paper that he runs, and so it's like it's so local government's so incestuous anyway. So I mean, who benefits?
All right, time profit.
Time profit. You're late.
Time profit. Anyway.
How's it going, time profit?
So essentially, at the end of the day, me personally, I think I wish I wish I could see that another way around what he did. Killdozer, time profit, look it up.
Killdozer. Yep,
Killdozer, look it up. Anyway, I'm not going to explain it to you. If you come in late, you get what you get. All right.
Those who are late do not get fruit cup.
No, I'm not going to recap the whole entire thing because you decided to.
Wasn't parkour.
Parkour. There you go. It's Killdozer, not bulldozer.
It's Killdozer.
Read the damn marquee. Read the damn. Anyway, but basically, I've kind of like racked my brain all day as like, what would I do in this situation with the resources that I had, and the life that this guy was living, and with the resources that he has.
They were putting him through hell. They really were.
Yeah, I mean, just the pettiness, the petty shit of it all.
Exactly.
Yeah,
the petty bullshit.
I mean,
it was a conspiracy,
when he lost
basically.
this case. He lost this case, he tried to get his lawyer to move it up to the next, move it out of that court and to a higher court, and so he could and then his lawyer refused.
Oh shit!
And it's like the next court up would have probably ruled in his favor.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he could argue that there was because there's definitely a what's that called when there's a conflict of interest. There's definitely a conflict of interest.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He had a Marchand level conflict of interest here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Whoever Marchand is, but anyway.
The new company.
But he definitely had a conflict of interest. And a Katie Hobbs level conflict of interest, okay? In other words, somebody's benefiting definitely directly. What the hell is he even saying? Anyway.
It's a time prophet. We love him.
That's awesome.
Was it MacArthur Park? Is he quoting MacArthur Park?
I don't know. He's talking about a lost cake. I don't know.
Well, somewhere left a cake out in the rain. I think it's MacArthur Park line or something.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right.
All right. So basically, me, I'm gonna go ahead and rule that I think it's confirmed. I think he was right.
Oh heck yeah, hell yeah.
So
100,000 freaking %.
So you're confirmed too, huh? Okay.
Oh shit, yes.
How about you, Cruel? You think it's been debunked that he didn't need to do this? That there's other ways, or you think it's confirmed that he was in the right when he did this?
I'm kind of in the middle here.
In the middle. Okay.
I'm kind of am position as well, but no, I'm in the middle because
gotcha.
Obviously you can say that nobody was hurt. That's not the point. They could have been. I understand it. I get it. I agree with his. I agree with his position, but I don't think I would agree that I would say he went too far.
All right. Okay.
Spiritually, I agree, but morally,
Right. But practically, you think he went too far. Okay.
Yeah.
I can dig it. I can dig it. All right. Let me go ahead and close.
Yeah, close out the polls.
All right. Let me go ahead and close my poll
see what the
out.
poll-
Right quick.
I closed mine out.
Yep. All righty. So I got a confirmed and I got an undecided out of 2 votes. I don't have any chat participation tonight. So
I got 3 votes, and it's a 3-way split. I got 1 confirmed, 1 undecided, and 1 debunked. So I'm assuming the debunked is probably Time Prophet.
Time Prophet, definitely. Yeah, it's Time Prophet.
I'm sure he just does that just for the sake of it.
They had to use bulldozers to make MacArthur Park. I think there are a few parkours in MacArthur Park.
Yeah, I called it.
Probably are.
That's what the reference was. He thought he slipped one by me. So yeah. So anyway, yep. He's pretty much a throwaway vote. It's always going to be debunked on his case. Not very imaginative gentleman. All right. So we got a confirmed, 1 confirmed on my poll. And then
2.
you got a confirmed on your poll.
Yep. 1.
So
Yep.
I guess we just got to go with confirmed today.
Okay.
Oh, well, there you go.
I'm declaring.
Bigly.
All right.
Revenge is best served with a bulldozer.
None of you agreed with me. Hang on a second.
Why do you hate me?
All
right. Anyway.
Oh shit.
All right. Well, so there you go. Wiki's Joker. Yeah. Well, anyway, so rest in peace, Marvin.
Yes.
Marvin
Heemeyer.
Killdozer. You're still inspiring anti-establishment, anti-government people till today. I hope you made peace with your sweet and fluffy Lord before you decided to do this. So I can shake your hand in heaven someday. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, that's pretty much all we got for tonight. Thank you all for coming, except for Time Prophet, who decided to be fashionably late.
He's always welcome. Come on. Don't be so hard
At the last minute, and then wants me to recount
It's the life of the
everything like a
party. Come
freaking
on.
diva.
Come
Anyway,
on.
the diva he is.
What's going
All right.
on?
All right. Anyway,
Where's Abby Normal? Abby Normal is spending the weekend at a rodeo.
Nice.
probably
If you must
grinding his
know.
teeth listening to this podcast. Mad at we didn't say a bunch of stuff that he probably has in his head. But anyway,
He probably, yeah, like I said, like I told you before, he studied this whole thing big time. He knows this thing inside and out.
Well, I just got one word for Abby.
Who gives a shit?
The prophet.
You know what?
I have no idea what a bulldozer is. Okay.
You know what Abby's gonna. You know what he's gonna be like, don't you, Abby?
Yeah.
Killdozer. Killdozer. Can you not read? Can you not freaking read? It's like it's in the title. It's on the freaking whatever. Dude. I guess people in Wales can't read. I'm just saying.
He's not in Wales, is he?
I think he's Welsh. I don't know.
Unless he got swallowed by one. No, I don't think he's from Wales.
Okay, well, wherever he's from, evidently they don't read there.
Okay, kill bulldozer. There we go. Close enough.
Close enough.
I don't
Close
see.
enough.
I told you he didn't live in Wales.
All right, well, wherever you live,
He didn't live in Wales.
wherever keep screwing place you live.
But
Anyway.
he's half Welsh.
Half Welsh.
Half
All right.
Welsh.
There you go.
He's a half Welsh.
All right. There you go. There you go.
All right.
All right. Well, everybody, thank you for coming. You
Yes.
know, and we'll,
Thanks, everybody.
We'll see you.
Thanks,
We got
So you get any ideas what you want to cover next week? Anybody have a suggestion?
I don't know.
voting machines.
I haven't really thought that far ahead, to be honest.
The 2020 election?
Yeah. The missing 81 million votes.
No.
Actually, about 20 million.
20 million votes, yeah. The 20 million people that evaporated into thin air between.
Yeah,
elections.
Exactly.
You know,
They didn't
there you
show.
go.
No, I don't know.
Yeah,
What do you
I'm
think?
Scotch. I got Scotch Irish. I'm definitely Scotch Irish.
I'm all of them.
Anyway.
Yeah. Scotch, Irish.
I'm a mutt. What can I say? All right. Well, that's been good for Telepathic Bonnie Comics here with Crew Barab and Mr.
And Dick Paul, the manager of the Parkour Beavers.
Yeah. Well, whatever he is.
Kill you.
Whatever he is. Anyway. We'll see you next Saturday, 7 o'clock, same cryptid time, same.
Vote for Dick Paul.
And we'll see you later. Bye, everybody.